So guys, Mr. Peter Obi and Rufai of Arise TV have slammed Tinubu over misplaced priority. You know, sometimes you just keep wondering if this government really have the right people advising them. Some of the things they do are things Nigerians don't need at the moment. You see them just doing the wrong thing every time. Anyway, let me just allow you watch this video for yourself. Listen to what Mr. Peter Obi said and the way Rufai reacted to it. Just take a look at this.
Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has slammed the federal government's plan to embark on the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway project, citing concerns over numerous uncompleted roads across the country. In a series of posts on X, Peter Obi maintained that embarking on another huge project that will not be completed in the next 20 or 30 years will only worsen the problem of abandoned, uncompleted projects. His statement reads in part, "I have closely followed the comments and developments arising from the coastal Lagos-Calabar superhighway project, while I'm hesitant to engage in contentious debates about its benefits, which I acknowledge, and the pricing, which I have serious concerns about and believe should be thoroughly reviewed. I'm compelled to raise essential questions about the timing and prioritization of such a monumental venture. At the forefront of my concerns is the pressing issue of numerous uncompleted roads scattered across the country, many of which have become hazardous death traps and security risks. The Federal Ministry of Works 2024 capital budget of over 892 billion naira, additional funding for multilateral loan projects of over 94 billion naira, alongside other expected contributions from sources like China Exim Bank and the World Bank, will not be enough for serious work on all the critical roads, some of which are enumerated above, let alone their completion. So why embark on another huge project that will not be completed in the next 20 or 30 years? It will merely worsen our already sagging death burden." Rufai.
So a couple of things. And I really totally agree with Peter Obi on that project. You know, when Minister Omayi came here, we asked him, what's going to be the complete cost of the project? He said they are still doing it, they are still reviewing it. He couldn't tell us the complete cost of over 700 kilometers. But the cost, he told us, about for 7 kilometers was going to over $1 trillion. I have a document with me that I'm reading for that somebody sent to me. Was like the initial cost as requested was over 1.1 trillion, and it was now pushed down to about 1.067 billion, 1 trillion 67 billion, and thereabout. And the cost reduction was over 30-something billion thereabout on the project. Truth has to be said. Why expend over 1 trillion for a 47-kilometer project compared to when you have a country where there are so many roads left undone?
That's the question.
You can still use that money to patch a lot of roads. That's why we're saying cost-benefit analysis. This project is not emergent as we speak, because you're also using it to cut across people like Landmark. They've already got into the beachfront. There's a live view now you can see if you go to Landmark's YouTube page of they're already on the beach. So you are cut off the beachfront, and Landmark makes their money through the foot traffic. So you've cut off the beachfront, you are hampering businesses, you spend over $1 trillion, and it's as directed by the federal government to pay. So what's the hasty nature of this coastal road project as against other projects in the country where you can put money into?
That's the main question.
As regards what Alex Oti said, was what they call the airport scam. Guess what? Every state government try as much as possible to use that thing to scam people. So Alex Oti must not just read out that report. That report also must be sent to the EFCC and the authorities so that they are investigated.
Absolutely.
I was in Enugu over the weekend, Oji. Abakaleke to Enugu is just 30 minutes. The road is very good. So you're wondering, why did we have another airport being built in Ebonyi?
Yeah, all right.
So it's the airport scam.
Which is the point that John...
Don't forget that the APC government promised us that they were going to give this country electricity. Now they've abandoned electricity for other unnecessary projects. Take a look at these individuals from the Northeast who have got voluminous ideas. But do you know what? The federal government is not ready to consult with people like this. Listen for yourself.
I'm not a farmer and I'm an economist. I actually look at problems as market failure, not necessarily as need problems that can't be fixed. Most people, when they talk about perishable products, they talk about tomato. The whole mantra is tomato, we're the largest producer of tomato, but we're importing tomato paste. That has been what people have been saying. But really and truly, the most perishable product is milk. From the point in time you milk a cow, you have 2 hours to cool it to 4 degrees.
Wow.
If not, it starts to go rancid. And as such, because of our lacking energy infrastructure, most people cannot invest in that kind of value chain because they can't milk a cow and get it to 4 degrees and get it to a processing site quickly enough for it to be able to derive the value that it requires. So yes, we have a lot of cows, but those cows are not focused on dairy, they are focused on beef. So you see a lot of trailers moving from north to south. And so what we decided to do, when I looked at the potentials in the northeast, everybody and their auntie has a cow, but they keep it as a store of wealth and not as a source of cash flow. So what we decided to do in Sebore is we have 5 megawatts of solar for our factory, so we know we have the energy independence there. Then we've built about 78 collection centers in all these communities that are also powered by solar and batteries. So these farmers, really and truly, we identify them. You find out a smallholder farmer has 150 cows. 150 cows is no small feat. I'll give you context, right? If you have 10 cows giving you 5 liters of milk each, that person earns 180,000 a month. So if somebody has 150 cows, it should give you context of how much his earning capacity is. If you have 150 cows, the cow in the market now is 400K. If you have 150 cows, that is roughly 55 million naira. How many people in our urban centers can boast of an asset base of 55 million? What I tell our local farmers is, look, the Sebore is here to convert your wealth to riches. You're sitting on a base that can be converted into cash flow. So you need to understand that we're going to give you the requisite extension service training. We're going to create the infrastructure for you by creating milk collection centers. And we're going to train you how to properly cater to your cows and collect the milk in a hygienic manner that meets factory standard. And then we purchase your milk.
What is your expertise like? What have you done in the power sector so Nigerians can have an understanding? In the private sector in this country, what are the possibilities? How many countries have you helped in generating power for?
To date, 18 countries, from very modern countries like Turkey that are fully industrialized to countries like Congo DRC where we're putting power into the mines. This is not witchcraft. This is not some kind of imaginary thing. We do this as a living. There are probably 5 companies in the world that do what we do to put power where it's needed, embed it, and give results. My dear country doesn't believe in its own profits, so we get to sit there and just watch.
But you've experimented in the private sector.
Yes, we built one of the most modern dairy factories in the world today in Adamawa State. Since 2019, this factory has been running off renewables from my company, storage and solar. Hasn't had one day down, produces close to 150,000 liters of milk a day, generating tremendous income for those in that area, Mayobalwa and the Sebore region of Adamawa State. We see the multiplier effects. And I'll tell you something, that thing has been on and running since 2018. Not one government official from the last administration or this administration, whether in power or in the agro sector, has gone to have a look of what modernity can do, not just for an industry, but for the areas, the Fulani farmers that are now not moving their cows because we have to take milk. I mean, you've got to sit down with Aminu Yako and listen to a young man with a brain that has a vision and implemented it with such poise that people from around the world, I've taken Saudi Arabian groups to go there and see it, I've taken companies from Turkey there to go in, and we've replicated what he has done and what we have done with him in foreign countries. I mean, for me, this is where we lose ourselves. We're not enjoying what we are. Again, this Admirala yogurt in Adamawa, his power is nothing. He's taking it from the sun. His competitors are using generators. The price is going up every day. Who's making more money? This young man with the sophistication and the vision to look for renewables. Our country needs to take that kind of lesson. Let's not look at what they want to sell us. What's Siemens going to sell you? Old technology. What is Siemens doing today? It's turning to renewables. But it's going to sell you its old technology.
Biomass, there is solar.
So many. I ran an agency in the United Nations, Intergovernmental Renewable Energy Organization. And my job was to look at energy mixes. How do we bring renewables to help? This is the kind of mindset that you need to be able to engage in, but nobody wants to talk to you. I'm a Nigerian. I don't care what party I was in before. I'm a Nigerian.
Politics is in fact over. We're talking about the lives and livelihood of our people.
I have not met the Minister of Power because it's going to take me forever to try and figure that thing out. So I'll go private sector. I don't need the minister to build power. I don't need the minister to change the life of 7,000 people in Adamawa with one man who is under 40 years old, who has been able to make millionaires out of 7,000 people in the last 2 years. Now, he's made more millionaires than the government has generated. I guarantee you that. And these are Fulani herdsmen. You've got if there was a national award, I want to give it to this guy. We are not.
So, guys, you have seen it for yourself. Honestly, this government is a joke. This government is a joke. They don't even know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. And it does not even touch them the way Nigerians are faring. Look at the prices of things, unemployment, nothing is working in Nigeria. People are leaving school because they can't afford school fees, you know. Parents with many children in school are cannot afford school fees and all that. A whole lot of things are happening in Nigeria. People are suffering. Many people cannot even pay their hospital bills. That's to tell you the level at which Nigerians are suffering. And these people are embarking on, projects that will not make any impact in the lives of Nigerians. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.